All right, welcome back to our RV rehab project. For those of you who don't know what this is an old RV that we picked up. It was in great shape. We've been fixing it up and getting it ready. Our goal is to have it on the road this spring for our nonprofit Meet My Neighbor Productions, which features farms and ranchers across the United States and helps people understand the importance of our agricultural community. I had a bit of a problem up there. That old Coleman Delta TX air conditioning unit started leaking. The gasket that connects the air conditioning unit to the RV leaked this winter while we were traveling last fall. Obviously, we didn't have a whole lot of water damage inside. It did make the ceiling fall down, and well, those of you who have had an RV AC leak, you know what I'm talking about. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna show you guys how we fix this leak. Now, because I filmed this as I was doing it, my instructions probably aren't that great. When you remove those air conditioning units, when you take off the panels and everything from the inside looking up, you'll see some bolts that basically pull the air conditioning unit down and create a pressure between the gasket that seals off water on the outside and the roof of your RV. You can just loosen up those bolts, flip the AC unit on its side, replace the gasket, and put it back down again. I didn't do that. I tend to go a little overboard on all the projects that I work on. And I mainly do that because I know that this is an older RV and I want to make sure that whatever I do it thoroughly so I don't have to go back into that area for a long time, because there are a lot of other things that I have to get done on it. So what I did was I actually took the whole AC unit off, took it back to our workshop, and that's where the video starts here. Is I cleaned up the bottom side of the air conditioning completely. I even had to repaint it a little bit because it took a while to scrape off the old gasket. And I made sure that everything I did was very clean and very smooth before putting that new gasket on and putting it back up on the camper. So you can do it the easy way. Just loosen the bolts of your AC unit, pull it off, leave it on top of the camper, put a new gasket seal on it. You may even be able to clean it off up there without damaging your roof if you're very careful. Or you could do it the way I did it, dismantle the whole thing, bring it down, and put it back together again. Okay, so this is the underside of our air conditioning, and our new seal is going to go right around here. It's important that you remove all the junk from the old seal, and that's why I've kind of repainted this, is because in scraping the old stuff off, I scraped the paint, and I don't want this to rust, since this is going to come in contact with moisture. So I repainted the bottom of this with just some black Rust-Oleum, and I think it'll be fine. So now I'm going to affix my new seal and get this ready to put back on the RV. In researching some AC gaskets, I found this Steele Rubber Products gasket, and I like this because a lot of people were complaining about the seals being put together. This is a one-piece design, so basically it's a big sheet that's been cut out. You can see it's just basically a sheet of rubber foam, and they cut the square out of the center, whereas most of these, they'll have strips that they glue together, and those glued corners can cause leaks in the future. So and I like this because I get a little extra material in case I need it. They do cut out several blocks for putting across the bottom of the unit, because you'll notice the seal sits here, but then you have a lot of the unit down there. So you can put these blocks under those parts of the unit to help hold it up. And I just dropped it all. So I'll probably put this down here, maybe put a couple the smaller pieces there, down there. On the back side, you just have this white, pull it back, and you'll find that the gasket is sticky underneath. So we'll go ahead and stick this on, and it's gonna fit just perfect. And there it is with the new gasket on there. Now, these are your leveling blocks back here, and this long 14-inch one, which looks like, you know, we had the old Steele there. It actually should go in between the split intake if you have a split intake system. But I'm gonna leave those there as leveling blocks, and if I need that, I could just cut it out of this nice chunk that is left over. So it's nice having that extra big piece in there. Okay, so there's our hole. It's a bit dirty, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean that up before I put the AC back on there. The end of this tape here, the old Steele had really stuck to it, and water can get through that if you can't get it off. So what I'm gonna do is I've actually pulled just this end piece of the tape up, and I'm gonna go ahead and reseal these two pieces here and here. And I might actually just kind of wrap a seal around this. But that way I can get my new seal fresh and flush. I didn't like what I was dealing with there. So I'm gonna finish scraping this old tar off, get it as clean as I possibly can. Okay, now you can see I've got that hole nice and clean. I just need to fix where I cut back the old seal before I put my gasket back down there. But I've got a nice clean surface to work on here. The way I cleaned this up was I used Goof Off for the really difficult spots, but you gotta be careful. Goof Off will take the paint right off, as you can see right there. And then I used some turpentine just to clear off any of the Goof Off or some of the hard spots that they wanna use Goof Off. You can see a little thin spot in the paint there from the Goof Off. Goop Off. Goof Off, Goop Off, whatever. And then I used a spray bottle with just some Dawn dish soap mixed with water, and I wiped it down with that. And I'll probably, after I'm done doing repairs to this, before I put anything back on there, I'll probably just throw some wax on the roof in this area just to give it a little more protection since I've stripped it down. To fix these areas, I've got this super sticky RV sealant tape. I'll post a link to where you can get it online. Had really good reviews, and you just kind of use a roller to roll it out and make sure it's nice and thick. Now I've got the air conditioning unit back on top on the roof, and I've got my seal pretty much lined up all the way around. And so what I'm gonna do now is reattach the inside base of the AC unit, and it's got long bolts that will go through these holes, and we're gonna tighten this down so that we reduce this from about 1 inch to a 1/2 inch. That should be enough torque to really seal this off. So we had an air conditioning leak. When moisture gets up underneath these things, it can quickly deteriorate the glue. And so between that, humidity, having the air conditioner off, our foam sealing there kind of just came off. So I am going to show you how to fix that real quick. So I've reestablished one whole seam here and kind of tucked it in the best I could. And that will help hold this in place. And on this side, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna reach up there with my glue spray, and I'm gonna spray and spread and spray and spread, and then tuck in along the side here until I get it all back together and tuck under there. For tucking it, I'm using just a plastic, this is from some mud that we used to repair some drywall. This probably has got some drywall dust on it, but it's a nice plastic end that fits up under there really nice and easy. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. And I'm gonna try using this Permatex headliner adhesive. Just comes from the auto store. I'm hoping this works. It says it's heat resistant, and usually that's what, you know, separates the glue is heat. So we'll give it a try. Got that back up there. Ooh. Stretching that and gluing it. was not a fun job, but good enough for me. So we've got 3 tension bolts lined up. One goes there, one there, the other one's on this side. It goes right up there. This plug will just go back right in there once we get it up. So I'm gonna finish tightening these down, and like I said, you want that seal back there down to about a 1/2 inch. Something to be aware of, there should be a little piece of ductwork right in here, and I had forgotten about it, and I don't know what I did with mine, so I've cut a new piece, and I'm going to take this back off, put the ductwork in, and then close it in on the ductwork. And that way, your cold air comes through and can pass out without messing with the hot air that's coming in the sides. Some of you probably deal with this, but with these older AC units, you can see we have a piece of cardboard shoved down in there, and that's because these just flop all over the place. So the trick to this is you just pop them out. Pop one out, pop that one out. And then all you need is a little rubber washer, and you'll put it on one end. So it's kind of like this right there. You see that little rubber washer in there? What happens is they deteriorate over time. So you put one of those on there, and then all of a sudden, boom, you can turn them and position them again, and they'll stay. And voila, now they will stay in position. I'll tell you a little secret. I got my rubber washers off of roofing nails. Yeah, the roofing nails have a little washers with the seal underneath. I just peeled off the rubber part of the washer, stuck it on there. Now they work. Awesome. I also replaced my insulation that goes underneath there. And, you know, I should be replacing these filters, although the filters don't actually look all that old, so they're probably fine. Somebody's replaced the filters, just hasn't maintained anything else. So I've got this pan put back on, and this plugs into a heat strip, which is up inside there. And everything seems ready and plugged in, so now I'll just go ahead and put my cover back on. Voila, no more leaks. Got my ceiling back up. It's looking pretty good. So if any of you guys have an AC leak, it's not hard to fix. The gasket that I went with was a $70 gasket. Again, I tend to go a little overboard, and that's because it's that one piece rubber gasket, rubber foam. There are a lot of inexpensive gaskets on the market. In fact, if you buy a new AC unit, it'll probably come with one of those inexpensive gaskets. I would highly suggest you buy the type of gasket I got for any new AC that you're putting in or any AC repair that you're doing. It's just a much better gasket. But that leak is fixed. If you liked the video, if you found it helpful, make a quick donation to the nonprofit so we can get this thing done. We're gonna create more and more videos on this as we put it back together and get it roadworthy. And it's gonna take a lot of support from viewers to be able to get this thing on the road in the next month and a half. Thank you to those who have supported this project. We're gonna keep it going for you.